Hey guys, I hope that you guys are doing amazing wherever you are. Thank you so much guys for watching, for subscribing and commenting on my channel and my videos. I am gratified that you guys are finding all these INFJ videos really useful, and that's the reason I'm keeping on doing them. Let me know again if you guys have any suggestions for videos or anything like that. I'm always looking for feedback and suggestions. Of course, I'm going to take every feedback with a grain of sand. So please don't hesitate to give it to me, but don't necessarily be surprised if I don't use it. I hope that makes sense. In this video, I want to speak to you guys about how INFJs look at justice and why I think an INFJ really, in my opinion, again, this is all my opinion, it'd be really hard for us to be a lawyer or to be a judge because we don't look at justice or, good and bad in exactly the same way as everyone else does. A lot of times people will be aghast, they'll be like, oh my god, that person's so horrible, how could they do this? That's the worst thing that's ever happened, blah, blah, blah. And I'm sitting there thinking to myself, it's not that bad, it's alright. Like, yeah, sure, they did something bad, but I don't think of it as bad as everyone else does. And so I feel like we kind of look at things in our own way. Everyone obviously does, and everyone has their own sense of justice. But a lot of times when I'm speaking to my friends or family, the way they look at justice is very different from the way I look at it. Now, first of all, a lot of people believe that just because it's the law, it means that it is the truth. And in our opinion, in INFJs in general, my opinion, just because someone tells you that something is supposed to be right doesn't mean that's actually right, right? These laws have been created when they were like 150 years old, when women weren't allowed to even vote, and there were slaves and all that stuff. So I mean, like, come on, a lot of these laws are like outdated. And so a lot of the things that happen on this planet, you have to be really looking at it with a very critical eye. You have to be a critical thinker because there is a lot of nonsense being propagated into this world. There's a lot of crap that's being told to you as truth, but it's not actually truth, right? So I really, really get really antsy and really annoyed when people say that this is the truth because it's the law. Law was written by men, and men are fallible. They are, they are not always correct. So it means that we have the tendency, or we have the right to look at each law and say, okay, does this work in this situation? If it doesn't, then it doesn't, right? Unfortunately or fortunately, if you're a lawyer, you have to look at the law and you have to run by the letter of the law. The law is what is truth. It's God for you, right? That doesn't work for me because I cannot have anything that is God or the truth for me, because the truth changes as time goes on. The truth changes from day to day, changes from time to time. It changes from person to person. For one person, it might be the truth that, they are never, ever going to steal. For another person who is poor and who needs money to feed their children, or who needs food or medicine for their child, the truth is not that they'll never steal. They will, because they have to, because they need to provide for their family, right? In both of those situations, the truth of the law is different because one person needed it because they're poor or they had certain circumstances surrounding it, and another person doesn't need it. So in my opinion, you can't really have like a law that's a law for everyone, right? And so laws are permutable. They're always changing. They are flowing with time, right? That's the reason when my sister's a lawyer and she's an INTJ, and for her law is truth. For her it's God. For her it makes her life controllable. It creates control or balance out of chaos, because this world is very chaotic, and in order for her to feel like she has a semblance of control in this world, she uses laws. She uses all these laws that have been created by this world, and she loves it. She loves law. She loves rules, right? A lot of people need rules. That's the reason they go into the military. They want to be told what to do, and they don't like deciding for themselves. Totally fine. That's how they are. For us, if we were told to do something, we don't like it. I hate it. I hate being told to do something. I hate it when people say, you have to do things this way. Every single time someone says that to me, my skin starts crawling, because I think to myself, why do you have to do things that way? Like, why? Just because someone said so? Just because it's been written somewhere? Some random person thought that this was a good idea hundreds of years ago, and that's the reason we should do it now? Everything has to be kind of filtered through your own experience, through your own bodily sensation, through your own thing, right? Yoga is not for everyone, but some yogis will say, well, everyone should do yoga. I say this all the time with meditation. Everyone should do meditation. Of course, it works for me, but it does not necessarily work for everyone else. The same thing with Ayurvedic doshas or with Feng Shui or all of these really old traditions. I mean, of course, they have some truth in them, but you always have to look at yourself and look at your body and your experience and try it out, see what works for you and see what doesn't. That's again one more reason why I feel like I could never be a lawyer, I could never be a judge, I could never work in that kind of justice industry, because my opinions are going to change depending on the person that's in front of me. And I know judges have to kind of be like that, they can't always be black and white, but a lot of times the laws that I look at, the ones that are written in stone for us, I feel like they're complete bullshit. They are just nonsense. I don't believe in them. It does not make any sense to me. For example, one of the very simplest of things that I think is complete nonsense is that everyone needs to get married. Everyone always tells me this, it's like a law for them. Like, you have to get married. Of course you have to get married. What if you're alone when you're older? Hello? I mean, come on. It doesn't make any sense to me. I just want to pull my hair out when I hear this nonsense. And this happens to me all the time. It's not even just people like who are in their 50s or 60s telling me this. There are people in their 20s and 30s saying, of course you have to get married. I mean, you have to get married. Like, you have to get married and you have to have children. It's like a law in their head. It's like, it's just not, it's the truth. They just can't live without that law. And to me, I'm thinking to myself, but why? Why do you have to get married? Unless, I mean, obviously for evolutionary purposes, it's like this thing people have that they need to propagate, right? They need to put their genes forward so that their line doesn't die off. But besides that reason, like, unless you really meet someone that you love and you want to have kids with them, blah, 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 you don't have to get married. Like, there is no necessity to it. And everyone always says, well, what if you're alone when you're older? Well, you're going to be alone anyways if your husband dies off or something like that happens. I mean, come on, like, you can't control for those things. Things happen. You might end up alone in any case, right? So it does not make any sense to me. But a lot of people think of it as the law. It's a rule. It's an infallible rule. You have to follow it. No, you don't have to follow it. And every single time, as I said, someone says this to me that, you have to do it. I mean, you have to, right? No, you don't. No. And in my opinion, there is nothing like that on this planet. You don't have to do anything except breathe. You have to breathe in order to live. I mean, if you don't want to live, don't breathe, but you have to breathe. The law of gravity is pretty infallible. Like, I mean, if you fall off the top of a building, you will fall on the ground and die. You have to eat in order to survive. But besides that, there's nothing else that I think is like really like, oh my God, this is the law and you have to follow it. And so that's what I think of as an INFJ thing. I don't think we have the capacity in general to follow these rules and laws because we just don't think that it is the same for everyone. Things change all the time. People change all the time. Right now, I might believe in something. A day later, I might not believe in it. And I have the flexibility and the adaptability to believe that it's all right to change my mind. We don't want to be stuck in random pain for the rest of our life. That's the reason homosexuality is accepted now, whereas in the past, people would be stoned for it. The same reason why women are given the right to vote and they have equality, a little bit of equality now than before, because people realize that the law that women are not equal is stupid and it's not right, and they changed it, right? 500 years from now, you have no idea what might be going on in this world because a lot of the laws and rules that we have right now will seem silly to the people in the future. They're going to think, why did these people believe this, right? Just like we believe it's silly to believe that the earth is flat. We don't believe that, We don't believe that the earth is the center of the universe or the sun revolves around the earth. We don't believe all that stuff because we know science has proven it to us. But in the past, it was law. It was the truth, right? So truth is always changing. It's flowing. It's always moving depending on the person's experience, changing according to time and weather and circumstances. And so for me, there is no ultimate truth. You can't believe that there is an ultimate truth. And that's the reason why I couldn't ever be a lawyer. I'm grateful that my sister loves it, but I could never be that way. And I'm always arguing with her on this fact because there are no laws, true laws. Again, we can make it up as we go as human beings, but in the future, it might completely change. And so what is the truth? You don't know what's the truth. We have no idea. I hope this makes sense to you guys. I know it's kind of like a little bit of my rant, kind of what I believe. I don't know what you guys think of it. I really want to hear what your opinions are. But this is what I think. This is what I see in the world. This is what I see about myself and INFJs in general. And from the comments that you guys have put on my channel. So I'd love to hear from you guys. Thank you so much for watching again. Thank you for subscribing, for commenting, for being on my channel. I appreciate all the support. I appreciate all of the gratitude that you've been sending towards me. I am thankful that I can do these videos for you and help you understand yourself a little bit more. Again, send me any suggestions that you guys have, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye for now.